got a fun-filled show tonight.
Behind, I met a boy today.
It's your boy, Coach Career, the General, 860 Army.
She loving my style every time I'm.
You ain't need more money, Tito. You could have just invited 6 or 8 you down to Nationals.
I'm around.
When certain people don't get their way or they feel slighted, they feel like they have a right to call us and voice their opinion. You don't.
We locked the
I've never removed a staff to allow a staff to move up.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Now everybody's a personal trainer. We know who the originals are, but now if you look, you can find them in every town.
What up? It's your boy PH the Prez. It's Mr. Above 140. We have a big night tonight, and I'm here with my co-host.
It's your boy, Coach Career, the General, Bell City Broncos, 860 Army.
Bell City Broncos, everybody out there, give us about 1 minute to get out our shares, to put it all on the platforms. But y'all know what we doing tonight. We got a special guest, somebody I'm excited to talk to, somebody I met in person before. I got a lot of respect for, always treated Tito, us with respect whenever we was in his presence. We're going to be speaking with Tony Arena, the UYFL national co-founder and owner. And I'm excited to have these conversations. We know about, everybody talks about Pop Warner and AYF, and we get a chance to talk to somebody else, another national league. I think it's always good to open up conversation and talk to people from everywhere. Tell me when you're done, Tito. And with that being said, we'll get Tony in, and then we'll start our conversation because, it was a lot of people hitting us up, telling us to interview UYFL. And so we said, you know what, let's do it because they didn't know much about it. Tito, you played in the tournament before, Tito. You took a team down to the tournament before. I was aware.
We took multiple teams down to the tournament.
And it went well. So let me know when you're done, and we'll get started. And it's gonna be a conversation tonight. I think options is always a great thing for people in communities around the U.S. We all are responsible for communities. We're responsible for kids. We're responsible for to our constituents who actually run our communities. And I think it's important. As we do this, if you guys have questions that you would like asked, please post them in the chat. We'll go ahead and ask the questions. With that being said, I'm going to introduce Mr. Anthony Arena. How you doing, Tony? How's everything going?
What's up, Prez? Tito, what's going on, baby?
What's going on, Tony? How you doing, brother?
Pretty good.
Is good with me, man. Everything is good. So listen, like I said before I just got you on. I'm excited to have you. We have had conversations. I've attended your nationals. I'm a youth football guy by nature. I think you guys do a great job. You showed me the landscape, what it was like. So when I got the opportunity to bring you on the podcast and me and Tito talked, I was like, absolutely. But before we get started, I want you go ahead and introduce everybody. Let them know who you are. Give them some background information on you and your youth football experience, history, whatever you got.
You got it. So, most of you guys I've known, right, for years throughout all the battles and the wars and youth football. Pop Warner guys, go back 25 years, Pop Warner, go back 15 years, AYF, 10 years there. And basically a couple of us got together one time over like one or two different issues and decided we didn't like the general landscape of youth football, and everybody does it and not get mad. But we decided just get together and say, I think we could do something a little bit better. I just did not like the direction. So I got together with New York and at one time someone out of Connecticut, and we decided to leave over a situation that really doesn't matter now. But we decided to build a league from the ground up, even though people said it couldn't be done differently, not through the eyes of our accountant, but through the eyes of the kid, the eyes of the coach, right? What makes a coach want to come back? What makes a kid want to keep competing? That's how we put the league together. We got together. We didn't care if it was only the two of us, New York playing Chicago for the first year. We were going to do it. Well, lo and behold, 60 teams in, great tournament. Found a place to play that was more reasonable to afford. Got out of it. I'll touch base. I'm sure there's going to be questions. Got away from the regional system to give more control back to a town and decided to build a league where everybody would have a vote. And we mean truly have a vote. You want an age change, it goes to the entire country. You want a game change, it goes to the entire country. You want a ball change, everybody gets a vote. And even when we first started, Chicago, we started it. New York started it. We only get one vote. Each conference gets it. I probably lost more votes than I ever put together. But that was the democracy we put together. The year after that, 100 teams, the year after that, and a steady growth up to a constant 200 teams. And that's how we went. The rest of the changes we've made, which I'm sure you'll ask about, were things that we thought were pretty innovative, whether it be giving the kids more stuff, creating the open division. Now a lot of people sort of copy that idea. So I know we're going in the right direction, and that's how we started. And 15 years later, we feel here we are, the biggest show. We own December, and out there trying to get as many people to buy in and say, listen, this is how we want it, because we figured this puts a better brand of football back in your local market when you're done. And pretty much that's it. I'll leave it more open to you.
Yep. Go ahead, Tito. You asked the question.
One question. How many I know the size of the national structure, but so people know, how many total organizations are involved with UIF now?
As far as like nationally?
However many you got.
Yeah, you know what? If you want me to be 100% honest, I couldn't tell you 100% one way or the other, whether it's 2,500 teams, 2,800 teams.
Like, it's that big, though. I just wanted people to get the idea. How big
a better question, Tony, is talk to me about the states that you guys are in currently.
We're in any given year between 31 and 38 states, depending on what it is, which is a pretty good turnout. Not everybody participates because we don't force people to go into nationals. And without a regional system, you don't have that hammer over your head that you have to, So, but we have a pretty good representation across the country, and that is growing every year. We'll see what happens. I've gotten calls from Kentucky and West Virginia this year. Louisiana just came in. So the growth might be slower, smaller conferences, 10, 12 teams. But then again, that's how we built United.
So talk to me about your national fees. What if I'm coming down to nationals, what am I paying for? How much am I paying, Tony? Where am I staying? Well, let's back up. Where's your national tournament take place?
We go to Tampa, Florida. We like the Tampa market. It's actually, the city's Plant City, but it's the Tampa market, Hillsborough County. When we started looking around, we were looking at fields, conditions of fields, and what was being built, and quite frankly, not to offend anybody, but I was looking for cost. What my team. I run my own little program out of Chicago, and I couldn't afford Pop Warner, right? I just couldn't afford to get down there. I didn't want to tell my kids, no, you could play the game, but I can't afford the little ears for you because we can't afford $500 a kid to go to Disney World. Same thing with the other group. So we picked a market that we thought was the most affordable to come down and play.
And so you guys are in Plant City, I think it's called?
Plant City, like Otis Andrews and Ellis Methvin Fields, great complexes, Beautiful. 8 fields on one, 6 on the other across the street. We try to keep everything in the fence, and it's worked out good for us.
Right. Plenty of practice space. Plenty of practice.
Well, one of the perks,
I don't want to lose sight of it, but unlike the other tournaments, they got unlimited practice space with unlimited time, if I remember correctly. Like you could go every day and practice twice a day. That's how much space. That's how much space they have there. So,
we sit our 8 fields where we actually play the games that you're viewing right now. We have 4 practice fields, besides those 8 fields that are there. And then right across the street, because we share the parking lot, is 110 acres where that's got 8 fields on it. That, people that, and whether you're playing or not, if you need a place to come out and practice, it's always there.
Now, do you limit the amount of time a team can practice? Let's say my team need a little bit more time. I know you got the space. Can I practice anytime I need to? I can just show up out there if I'm not intruding on anybody and practice.
That's all the practice space right there. All of that.
Yep.
All the way down.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
There's no limit. No limit on time. Again, we don't have that type of structure. You're out there. We want you to do what you need to do to try and be successful and enjoy yourself.
Talk to me about your costs. I go down to nationals. I think I saw on the website it said approved housing. Talk to me about what does that mean exactly.
Well, approved housing. We have approved housing. We're all supposed to stay in Hillsborough County, so we make some arrangements because again, we're talking about being affordable. So we raised our fee up a little bit, and then pretty much just turned our eye away and said, "Just let me know where you're staying, will you please, so I could write it down and inform the county." That's us, because again, why would I want you to stay? We got approved housing. The girls love it. Sometimes it doesn't fit a football need, right? You're coming down with a bunch of boys with only a couple of chaperones. You need a big house. They don't have that in that market. So since they don't have it, that allows us to say, no, we got to give you a waiver. Go find it where you can find it.
So basically, does the waiver cost money, or do you guys?
No.
Okay.
No.
So basically, I can go stay in near Disney World at Champions Gate in an Airbnb with my football team and travel to 35 minutes to your tournament, and you'll be okay with it as long as we ask for a waiver.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I might not admit it, but I'm good with it.
Let's be clear. Plant City, it is the Tampa market, but it sits between Orlando and Tampa. It's either way, you're 40 minutes from either. You're 40 from
minutes
Orlando,
either way.
40 from Tampa, and if you go to Florida as much as I go to Florida, you drive an hour everywhere. So it's right now the best location of the tournaments because of where it sits.
And there's a couple reasons for that too, Tito, because again, coming from a point where we get offered all the time. I can go move to 10 turf fields closer to Orlando, but we have to service our cheerleaders. And you know what? 35 minutes away are the greatest beaches in the world, and that's all free for your kids. So us staying in the middle gives a lot of options. So you get to have the cheap housing.
Talk to me about how you qualify for UYFL. I know you discussed it's no regional structure. Are you invited? Is it you said an open bracket? Just talk to me about the two different versions of your.
Good question, because I got this one before me and Bobby Trez became like home bros. We used to beat each other up constantly over the regional thing and who qualifies and some of the rumors that were about. With us, it's simple. You got to be a champion, period. You're your conference champion. You earn the right to come down there. Conference president says, here's our guy. He's our champion. You come down. We know we were getting a lot of grief for some teams that wanted to play second, third. One of the reasons we left a lot of programs is the cheating. So we created the open bracket so that people that wanted to add a kid don't have to go behind our back no more. Just add the kid and go in the open bracket, right? We're giving you a place to play. And we started that because, listen, I won't got to be honest with you, people were cheating. We caught them. It happens everywhere. Now we think, actually, I know we're the most secure youth tournament there is, because I'll walk out on the field with sheriffs and throw you right out and embarrass you in front of your parents if we catch you cheating.
Their process too, the check-in process there, I've done all three. I've been the fortunate one that I've been to all three and had, been involved with teams in all three. Their process is by far the cleanest process when you bring your team to check in. He does it all live. Like it's you come with your team, and they got the picture that comes up. Like right, you send the stuff before, you send the profiles before, and then their process is clean as soon as you get there to check your team.
We try to streamline it. And we try to, listen, we catch guys sometimes with, let's just not use a cheating word, let's say with the wrong kid or an incorrect roster. And at check-in, we will move you immediately to the open bracket so you're not embarrassed. And the coach just looks at you and goes, thank you, Tony, very much. And that's the way it works. And that has worked out good for us. So, and that also keeps the balance. You got 50% of the open bracket are all UYFL teams. Why? Because they've come in second place. They've lost in a championship game. They still feel they got some juice. They want to come play. Not only that, it allows you to decide as a coach. Remember what I said. Look, build the league through the eyes of the coach. I want to travel. It's February. I know I want to travel. You might not win a championship. Fundraising in October, November is horrible. But if you know you want to come to Florida, you could fundraise for your UYFL trip right now. And they'll buy airfare, so you're not paying $400, you're paying $100. And if you win, you go in the United bracket. If you lose, you go in the open bracket. That's really why we
United in this open.
Make no mistake about it, though. The open bracket is not like an open bracket when you hear the word open. That is an elite bracket. Like that to me, that is by far the most competitive division. Like, not that the other ones aren't competitive, but if you go into the open bracket, don't come down there with your regular team. You get what I'm saying? You got to come down with a loaded team.
Yeah.
Jeff out there. Jeff asked the question. Jeff, we are going to talk about cheerleading, Jeff. We are going to get to that. That's on my list of questions to ask. But we're just starting off with some of the football stuff right now. I'm talking to Jeff. He asked the question about, are we going to talk about cheer? All right, so let me get back to some of the questions I had. I'm sorry. Are your games live stream? What are you using when you're at nationals? How do people get to watch games? How does that work?
Yeah, we live stream everything. And again, we really started the ball rolling on that one. We put it out because we really started, the through the eyes of the kid, all the sideline announcers like ESPN running up and down the stages. We've been copied quite a bit on that now, but we really started that whole entertainment thing. Why? Because when a kid loses by us, coach might still be mad, but when that kid's on stage talking, he sort of forgets to score real quick, and he's just a celebrity in them few minutes. So we like that grandpa back in Kansas could watch that, So we usually broadcast almost every minute we got. We had over 390 games live stream and over 2.5 million viewers this year.
Wow. Yeah, I'm just putting up your I was just putting up your I think these are the United brackets for each level that came out this year. I'm just filtering through. Somebody asked to show the brackets winners, and some of these are, if I'm not mistaken, I'm assuming some of these teams, there are program leagues that just did not decide to come. So it's not that these are the only champions. These are the ones that decided to come. Am I right about that?
Right. Now you'll get teams that come in and at the last minute, the fundraising collapsed. And I think every youth organization has that. Quality organizations, quality. But if you all of a sudden plan and you can't get down there, that's why we take in some of the end and the brackets. Sometimes we add more teams, especially on the open, that are listed because we make last minute changes. We had waiting lists on almost every age group this year. What happens? All of a sudden, guys from Philly, bus breaks down halfway through. All of a sudden, fundraising breaks down. You're stuck. All you could do is wish them the best next year. But yeah, not indicative because they come from all over the place.
I got a question. Somebody said, what rules do you use down at National? Is it basically high school kickoff, kick return at every level, or are they altered as you get lower?
We run IHSA rules. 6U and 7U have altered rules, and it's basically the same rules with the exception of like not lining up over the nose tackle, no blitzing at 6U. Once we get to 8, we still do live kickoffs. You have the opportunity on a punt. If you're 6 and 7 and you haven't developed a punter yet, you're not going to get punished. You could elect not to kick, take the ball at the 30. That's it. 8U, same thing, regular football. Absolute regular football.
Have you thought about the 4th 15 versus the onside kick? I don't know what that means. Somebody asked about that. I don't know what that means. But I'm showing the clarify that, Joe. I'm showing the open division now, everybody. So talk to me. These are teams that did not win your bracket, but they put together all-star teams or division teams or brought their team and decided to come. Let me ask you about the open bracket. Let's say Phil loses, and I say I'm taking the best players from my entire league at 13U. I'm going to put us all on one team, and we're calling ourselves the Connecticut All-Stars, and we're going down to UYFL to kick everybody. You know what? That's what this bracket is for? I'm assuming?
It can be. So, for example, WPA, Western Pennsylvania Youth Association, one of our largest conferences, they send teams in the United Bracket champions. Sometimes they have champions that don't elect to go into the United Bracket because Western Penn sends someone at every age bracket. They take 3 players from every organization, build an all-star team so that the entire conference is represented in the open, and they might only have 3 champions on the other side. Same thing with Buffalo Elite. Buffalo Elite put teams in this year, every level in the open bracket, rather than come in to the put their champions in. Maybe they took their first and second place teams and combined them and came down with good teams. So yeah, you're correct. That is absolutely an option for that. And it's also an option for teams. We've had teams that have lost and not added one kid and just said, damn, I lost by 1 point. I'm going into the open because I'm coming down to play.
Jeff asked, does it go to 13 or 14? Jeff, it looks like they still do 14U.
In the open.
And Mike Russ said,
in the
open division, in the open. Yeah. Mike Russ said it seems like it's all-star stuff. Mike, in the open bracket, I believe that's true. And correct me, am I wrong? Are you saying in the United bracket there is no the team that go must be the team that played during the fall?
Your roster's got to be turned in. Your roster's got to be turned to us by September 21st. They get locked, and that's it. There's no excuse. There's no kid took a vacation. There's no broke a leg. Once he puts a cleat in the field for your team, he can't move, change, and that's it. 757 Colts, Silk City Elite, both champions in their league. They just elected to go in because we didn't have 14 at the open. I mean, it depends. But in our United bracket, the rec, what I call the rec league, which our competition is strong in that league there too. Those are roster teams with a locked roster from whatever your league's week 2 date is. So if you tell me, Phil, after our second, because everyone locks their rosters after the second game, but the date might be a little different, right? Because of you might start later, teams out west, it's too hot, they wait. So we don't punish people with that. It's got to be September. What is your week 2 date? And your conference president is responsible for getting us all those rosters. They get locked. There is no coming back to me. Oh, I missed a kid. No, sorry. that ain't going to happen.
Understood. I guess the question was, Garrett kind of cleaned it up. He said, have you guys ever thought about the alternative kickoff rule? Kind of like the NFL, I think he said, where a team, as opposed to an onside kick, gets one play, but it's 4th and 15 from like the 40-yard line. That's something that your leagues will vote on, or your nation will vote on? What?
Nationwide. So like we're getting ready to set a national meeting here in the next 60 days because we want people to get started. We don't like to do it too early anymore because everyone builds questions as they're starting to take registration. That's something that would absolutely come up to everybody in the room. Every conference then gets put out at the meeting, whether you come down to Florida or because we do it on Zoom too. and we had 29 conferences just on Zoom. And okay, guys, we're voting on 13U versus 14U versus 8th graders. Gets a vote to everybody. Doesn't matter. I could present it because I think I might know what I want to put out for the league. If it gets voted down, it gets voted down. If I don't like this alternative kick and I vote no, I only get to vote no, not as the owner of the league. I get to vote no as the guy who runs Chicago Conference. That's it. And if everyone else votes it, and that's how we've grown. And that's how we get that type of participation, because maybe someone comes up with a great idea that, listen, I'm not the greatest football mind in the world. Maybe someone else came up with an idea. Maybe someone could say, hey, Tony, this might run better if we try it this way. Hey, if everybody wants to do it, my no becomes a yes.
So, quick question. I got more questions. Can videographers and photographers, this was asked, somebody, videographers and photographers asked me to ask this. Let's say they wanted to cover your national tournament. Is there a way for them to apply, to come down, to be on the sideline, to cover, to add, to film kids, or is it something that you guys already got covered nationally? And
yeah, we have it covered. Here's what we do though. So we put an ad out on Facebook and all the coaches forums, probably around September, looking for videographers to come who want to come on down. And they could come on down. What we don't let is private companies. Now, have we bent the rules? Sure, I bent the rules for Netflix. I bent the rules for Hulu, who are doing documentaries on certain teams and on the league. Of course, but will I let a private videographer come down? One, there's some liabilities because now I got to background check everybody in his organization, as compared to stay outside the ropes. And if you want to take pictures, if you're covering your team, I'm not going to say you can't cover your team, but we don't let someone down, because we had a guy say he was doing his league and he was down there every night. He was posting 3,000 pictures online trying to sell them. And, we laugh and it's true, but in order for me to keep the prices down, if I have a videographer company out there, I have to support them. No different than any other vendor. We don't put 10 helmet guys out there. We don't put 10 picture guys out there. We pick one guy. You want to go work with him? I'll give you the number. You could work with him. If you come to me and say, hey, Tone, Phil, I have someone who takes pictures of my kids. Sure. I can't get them on the field. I'll say you can go from the end zone to the end zone and stay outside the ropes. No one's going to throw you out. It's a youth game, for God's sakes, I hope that answered it.
So talk to me about local rules. You give out the national rule structure. What if Tito said, you know what, Tony, in New England, whoever we send a national will do kickoff at 8U and 7U, but in New England, he wants to play by no kickoff, 2-point stands, because that's what his conference wants. How does that conflict with the national rule, and how do you guys come to an agreement on that?
So depending on the game, so guy comes down and says, well, we at 8U, we have that option on the kickoffs, always up to the coach. So if one guy wants to kick off or receive a kick, you got to kick to him. If one guy doesn't, it doesn't. Now, if we had coaches come to an arrangement on the field, yeah, because it's always in the best interest of the kids. And one of the reasons not to kick back to the regional thing, but in Chicago, I do one thing. I don't know what's best in Connecticut. Why would I enforce a rule on Connecticut? What you're going to get from me all the time, what's best for your community? You got to live there. You got to recruit there. So what's good for your community is good for you. We'll see how that fits nationally. We have a set of national rules, which are guidelines that we want everyone to follow at the tournament. As we get closer to the tournament, if there's something that different, if it's a safety issue, we'll just say no. If it's anything else, then that comes to the point of, hey, Tony, we'd like to maybe try this. Listen, let me email everybody. Let's get everybody on a quick Zoom call. Let's see how it goes. But those are things that we should resolve before everyone's down in Florida.
Talk to me about cheerleading. Where do your cheer take place?
Fantastic venue. We're at the Florida State Fairgrounds in Tampa. Outstanding venue. Outstanding. We've been there since we started.
I'm just trying to look it up. That's all. Do you have as many cheer teams as football or less?
No, that's growing. We had 100, 105, depending on the conferences. we took a lot of football, and this is something that it's touchy with me, but it's not. So a football organization moves from AYF, right? Or moves from Pop Warner. And in the old days, the girls would follow. Well, guys, what happens now is cheer rules the roost a lot in our conferences. And what'll happen is she'll look at you and say, I'm not going, right? And that becomes a little bit more of a battle. We don't punish them for that. So now, every year does it change and every year does it grow? Absolutely. Do I see that getting as big as football? Absolutely.
I noticed that I'm a cheer dad by nature, but an all-star cheer dad by nature. I don't understand this. But talk to me about the structure of cheer. I've only been in Pop Warner, so I only know like the junior, pee-wee. It looked like this is more like the football, like 6U, 8U, 10U, 12U.
It's more traditional. It's more traditional because you can't have both ways. And as people have adapted football to our age groups, which they really have, we started with football, cheerleading the same. Why? Those are the same parents. I can't make a parent go to 5 different age groups. You know what I'm saying? And quite frankly, I didn't like the 3 and 4 year swing on girls. We try to make cheerleading as recreational and competitive as possible, having it match football. And again, this was at our national meeting about 9 years ago. What do you guys want? Hey, man, we want, and it was really driven by the South, Texas, Carolina, North. Hey, no, it's traditional. We have to follow it. That was an easy mix for us. And everyone seems to like, we have never had anyone that didn't do it because the girls cheering are in the same grade, just like the boys. The girls are cheering for the boys that are in their same level. It's just worked out well for us.
The question on the floor is, what's your travel time between your football and your cheer venue?
Cheer venue from between the two, about 14 miles, 15 miles.
And what was the cheer location? Florida.
Florida State Fairgrounds.
Florida State Fairgrounds.
Every major cheer event is held there. World Cheer Championships, UCA, NCAA, all the big ones are there. It's just a great venue.
National champions. What do they get from you when they win? I win your national championship. What do I get? What do you give?
Well, the boys get the rings, a jacket, custom mouthpiece, right? Everything by us is says I'm a national champion. You can't get it year to year. Beanie, we have a national. I'm a UYFL champion beanie. The kids get sunglasses that say I'm a national champion. A banner. The coaches, and of course the rings. That's the biggie. We started that. Coaches get the rings. The coaches get a hand ring. It's a real crazy gaudy thing one of the coaches designed. We love it. It's our logo. Bucket hat. Of course, the big belt. We started that. And the giant trophy. And then a giant banner that says you're national champion on it for your gym or your workout area when you go back home. And every year we try to add based on money. We're trying to shoot at some T-shirts. We're trying to shoot at a couple things. And I'm not just saying this to BS it. We really try to add something every single year, whether it's a silicone wristband, a cloth wristband, getting somebody to give them something. We try and add something every year as funding allows. But those are the minimum. We never go backwards. Once we put something in the coffer, never comes out.
So let me get this right. So you're saying you gave out the belt, the ring, the jacket. I forgot everything. But those things automatically stay for next year. So whatever you decide to add is not a substitute?
No, it's not a substitute. We can never go back. All the stuff we've done because we've liked. The kids love it. If we can come up with something new, like we're trying to find a way to give the kid a baseball hat. I'm trying to find a spot. We're working on a lot of things. And when I pull the trigger on it, we'll make sure it happens all the time. If not, then we got to pay for it. But we never take away anything. And guys who've been down there, you see our trophy, our belt, all these guys do a lot of these imitations. I went to UFC, see who was making their belts. Them, we didn't buy some knockoff at Trophy Smack. that belt is the real deal when you get that thing. Did we need to do it? I don't know, but I liked it, So we went to the same company who does theirs, spent $700 a piece, but they're nice looking.
Any questions, Tito? I got more. I just want to.
No, keep it going.
I'm trying to find some chair. I got people asking me about chair. I'm trying to find the chair pictures, but I'm toggling between trying to find the chair pictures of the Florida State Fairgrounds, but I can't find the. Some people saying that they know what they look like. What is the fee for UYFL for a league?
Well, to come down, for a team to come down, or a league fee? What's
the fee? Let's say Tito has a town of 10 teams. What's the league fee to join you guys? What is the league paying UYFL? And then we'll talk about the fees to come down.
It's like anybody else. There's a $25 team fee, which I believe is probably half as anybody else right now. But the only fee we use is $25 per team, and that's an administrative fee because that helps you. That's how we get the insurance done. Anybody who knows insurance, I know someone's going to ask that question. We haven't raised insurance in I don't know how long. I'm not going to say nothing about nobody. There's only one youth insurance company in the entire country. There's 5 brokers, but there's only one insurance company. We all have the same insurance. We have the highest coverage allowed. We're $330 a team when everyone else is more. Doesn't matter what age it is. That's it. Why? I can only tell you guys, we don't put one nickel or mark up anything that we put out to you.
So UYFL teams buy insurance through you.
They can. They don't have to.
They don't have to. They just got to meet your minimum standards.
Right. You got to have insurance. We want you to have insurance. That protects you.
So it's basically $25 a team. If Phil Hartford Hurricanes got 5 football, 5 cheer, I'm paying you 25 times that 10. That's what my fee is to my league or to you. Okay. Nationally, I qualify for the national tournament. What am I paying you nationally? That's a question that's on the floor.
It's a flat $1,500 fee. Cheerleading's $500.
But $1,500 for football, I owe you nothing else. I come play.
Nothing else. That's it. Cheerleading, which is the big one for everybody, because $500, no per girl, no per extra thing, none of that crap. It's $500 per team.
And if I win, you're going to give me my ring, my jacket, that belt, and all of that for $500?
What are you going to do?
I'm just asking because, people going to, I don't want anybody to come and be like this cat. Jeff, my man Jeff asked what was the fee. And so that I'm just putting it out there what the fee was.
Yep.
Baltimore, are you big in Baltimore area DMV? Or somebody just put it on the floor?
We are.
Okay. You are big down there.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't think there's very.
That's one of their biggest markets.
What's that?
That's one of their biggest markets. DMV is one of their biggest markets, I would assume.
Yeah, I don't think there's very many of anybody else other than United in the DMV area.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Hold on. I'm just I got a lot of I got a lot of people writing stuff. I just want to make sure I'm asking the right questions. That's all. I don't want to be asking the wrong questions. That's all. How many people are involved at the UYFL at the top? It's yourself and
myself
or
Tony Arena, Bill Addy, Ron Maxwell, and Courtney Collins out of New York. That's it. Everybody else is a board of governor. For example, your conference, one president comes on the board, right? That's to keep us in check. That's how it's been since the beginning. That's how it'll stay forever.
Jeff asked, how many divisions for football and cheer do you have? I'm going to put back up. Let me share this real quick.
There's 23 football divisions and 13 cheer.
So there's 20. There's how many football divisions?
23 football and 13 cheer. And we're adding a little bit because what's that?
So I explain the football divisions first when you say 23.
Well, you have the 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8U, 9U, 10U, 13. Division 1 and Division 2 at 8, 10, and 12. The open division, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Then we added Division 3 this year as an experimental because people were asking. We're getting a lot of traction now for the national meeting about cleaning it up now because they want to do it. We'll probably only do it at 8, 10, and 12 for people. And it's more for us presidents to talk and say, okay, can I recruit? Because face it, you help support your league by the more teams you can get in as well. So a lot of guys don't want to compete like with, at one time, my Shabona Saints. No one would come play with me. Why? Because we were a strong team, right? So creating a Division 3 allows the league to grow for some of the teams. And, some teams just never get over the hump, right? For whatever reason. And then once great teams are established, historical performance, everyone wants to play for them, wants to play for the better coaches. So Division 3 is a real big one for us. And to touch base, too, on the tournament we did last year that we're really looking to revise this year was that best of the rest. Trying to find a way for everybody who lost in that first and second round to keep playing for something. Sort of like an offshoot of the tournament to where all those guys got to play an extra 2 games and we played for a champion of like the best of the rest. They maybe didn't get the big giant belt and all that other stuff, but they were playing for something once they lost. That turned out to be a real big deal.
Chair brackets. Talk to me about the different chair. I see 6U, 8U, 10U, 12U. Are there? Is it different?
Level 1 and level 2. Level 1 with all the stunts. Level 2 has a little bit less of the stunts, and then large and small. All sort of traditional.
Yep, I got you. Yep. I know that from being an all-star chair dad. I understand that.
And we do have an all-star level because
you do. Okay.
Yeah, we're in Florida.
And open for anyone to come, win or
anyone
lose?
Come in the all-star. Anyone come in the all-star bracket. And we had 6 teams come in this year. 1 from Texas, 1 from Detroit, 2 or 3 from the East Coast of Florida, 1 from North Carolina. If it grows, it grows. It's, again, no different than us starting the flag, the girls' flag. If it grows and it helps you grow, so be it. We started the 7-on-7. We don't have anything to really do with it. We give it to you guys. You make the money on it. We have all of our conference presidents got together. I allow them to use the logo for United 7-on-7. They all formed a committee, got it together, all had tournaments in their own towns. Everybody shared in the revenue, worked out nice. We're trying to do the same thing for girls' flag.
Question on the floor: is their youth football insurance good if they own it? If there were a nonprofit youth org with already having youth insurance to cover.
If they got insurance, they're good. I don't get in their business.
Okay.
Insurance is an option for us. We provide it. It's cheap, but I could tell you we have teams in North Carolina that are all in the Optimist Club, and they get their insurance, or PAL league sometimes. So I'm not going to make them buy our stuff.
Laser is asking. Laser, are you asking about? Do they do the odd levels of football?
Yeah, just 11, 9.
I think you allow 6 through 13 to nationals, correct?
Correct.
6 you go to national as well.
Yes.
Okay. It's even in cheer, all levels in football, correct? And when I say even in cheer, I just mean the U levels. There's
correct.
No 11U, you would do 12U, and you're bound by your girl, is what Megan said.
Correct.
Okay, so you can do a 12-year-old with a bunch of 10-year-olds. They just got to register as that oldest girl, is what.
Correct. Correct. And we've looked at some things as we were growing, right? And as cheer grows, usually 15 teams a year, we might look differently at that. But then again, it's going to go to our board of governors, and it's going to be up to the girls. Okay. Do you think it's time for you to add a separate 11U division? They might say yes. I'm not going to argue with them. We do as it grows. We like cheerleading right now is nice because there's 15 teams in every bracket. That's a nice competition. So until we see it to where it needs to get stressed, then we'll take a look at
it. This is a question somebody just texted me. And do you own your space, or do you see yourself leaving or moving your tournament in the next 10 years?
I'll never leave Florida. I don't know what these knuckleheads do when they think they want to leave. You got the best shot at good weather. The best shot at good weather, and it's the best travel hub. Let's face it, everybody on this side of the Mississippi, with the exception of Texas and Southern California, travel mostly off the east side. Pop Warner learned their lesson when they tried to move their thing out west. I'm never going to move it to a spot where the kids can no longer afford it and it doesn't fit my demographic, or I'm going to move it to a spot where I got to know it's going to be 35 degrees. It ain't going to happen. I got it good right now where we're at, and I don't see it changing. Will we maybe look for a place that's got they built this facility for us. That city did. So what will we outgrow it eventually? I don't know. But there are other facilities being built in that same area. Like, if I found something with 10 turf fields, would I move it 3 miles away? Yeah, maybe, if it's a better product. But we're not leaving the area. The housing's there and the travel's there. It's the cheapest place to fly into and the cheapest place to find housing.
And for people that this does matter to a lot of people, you're still 30 minutes from Mickey Mouse. He's right there. He's right there.
He's right there. Well, but you're right, Tito. There's some people that come down and say, Dad says, if I got to take off work and I got to be here for 7 or 8 days, this is my vacation for the family. And that we kept that in mind.
Couple more questions. I don't want to hold you all night. Your sponsors. Talk to me about some of the sponsors you have down when you're doing your national tournament. That's one of the questions.
We're a little bit different than everybody else. So you won't see a massive group of rosters because I ain't going to sell out to anybody. So we've had people that have been with us from the beginning that helped us form the league. Rydell, D-Max. Why? Because D-Max used to be the Springfield Rifles out of New York.
Darlos is my guy. I actually started with Darlos back in 2013 when he was just Darlos and I had his cell phone number and I call him, he answer anytime. Yeah. I just want to put that out there. Shout out to Darlos.
So we do that. We have one tchotchke vendor. Anthony comes out of Detroit, sells all the crazy sleeves and stuff that the kids like, all the image wear, sunglasses. Darlos handles all his end. We have a shirt manufacturer, a photographer, a videographer company, and a concession guy for food. We will not go out there because I'm not going to put 3 guys to compete with Darlos. I'm not going to put 3 people to compete with Rydell. That being said, I don't take a penny, believe it or not, from Rydell or anyone else. I want people to be there because they want to be there. And I don't ever want anybody telling me I have to do something different because they gave me money.
Wow. Gatorade, I see the Gatorade.
Oh, Gatorade's out there. I'm sorry. Gatorade is out there. They're a biggie, but again, they came to us after year 2 and said, we want to be part of this. And ever since then, because they know we're the biggest event out there, they're there all the time.
If I asked you what is the biggest reason someone should choose you over any other tournament nationally, and this is not an attack on any national tournament, but right, what would be why choose you, Tony? Why choose your tournament versus another one? What is it that you guys hang your hat on?
Organized independence. Okay, that's basically the league. Organized independence. I want you to run your league the way it is without any interference from me. When it comes to the tournament, it's just the greatest youth show there is. There's none better. And that's because we focus on the kid and the game. I don't look at it on what money we're going to make. We're basically chasing money every year to the end of the week. So it's really the idea of getting this together. What's the best experience for the kid? I could say this, and I don't care what 3 letters anyone has, and there's a lot of them. There is not a better youth tournament for you to come to than United Youth Football. It's secure. I could say with a surety that they're 90.99% of every kid is the kid they say they are, and you're going to have fun. That kid's going to sit on a stage. He's going to get treated like an NFL athlete, even though we forget it's just a 6U game. That little kid doesn't know that. He sees Mookie or Ricky tracing him down the sidelines with a big camera and a microphone. That kid thinks he's on Sports Central, for God's sakes. That's why you come by us.
I'm trying to find pictures. I got a question. It said, what is the concession stand set up? Like, are they food trucks? I think that's what they're
Yeah,
asking.
he's got vendors. He's got the food trucks all down the same strip. We've been there, but the strip where the
I know the answer, but the public is asking. So I need you to answer questions.
Yeah, we have one.
I know. I'm just asking from.
We have one concessionaire, and he's set up all over the place. Again, just trying to make it easy.
Yep. I got you. So he basically bring different concessions, different types of food.
Right, but
he's the head of concessions.
He spots them all. They're all through the fields. He has them in between the fields everywhere. You could get food everywhere there. Like when you're there, there's no reason to leave outside the facility. Everything is right there for you. Everything's within walking distance. All the fields are right there. There's no 8 fields here and the other ones are way down there. No, they're all in that complex. Even the new ones, right, that you put to the right of the main fields.
Yeah.
I'll answer Keith. Keith, currently there are no teams in Connecticut.
Well, there's a couple.
There are two.
Yeah, because
I'm sorry.
Big Apple.
I shouldn't answer for you. Go ahead.
New York has a team, 1 or 2 teams in Connecticut, and we have 2 guys that have been independent in there looking for a place to play. But a lot of this is too. There's not a lot of people want to be in charge. Right. We've had opportunity for growth in a lot of these, what we call an out of reach market, but it's because no one wanted to be a conference president. No one wanted to, and they just say, hey, you know what? My teams are coming. They follow the rules. They sign up. They play. And unfortunately, if they don't come through one of our systems, like the one Connecticut guy plays through Courtney's playoffs. The other 2 just go into the open.
Hey, Jeff, what about Mass? I think he answered it. He don't have currently any teams in Mass. He got a couple guys in Mass that was that's looking to play if a league gets started. I think that's what he said. I have a question. I'm gonna try to read this. I don't really understand the question, Megan. So this is like summer for globals, switch over. Can they do either, or is it like All-Star where we can do nationals while staying in our regular conferences? I think she's asking, let's say there's a AYF, Pop Warner, YNC cheer team who don't win their bracket, but they want to come to your all-star cheer bracket. Do they have that option?
Yes.
Okay.
In cheerleading, yes.
In cheerleading, that's what I'm talking about.
In cheerleading.
And in football, but open.
In the open, correct.
Okay. Got you. Wow, these are a lot of questions, Tony. I don't want to keep you on that question. Well, go ahead.
No, we have a lot of teams. I'll tell you right now, we probably have 5 or 6 Pop Warner cheer squads. I could name off the top of my head, and 5 or 6 AYF teams that pay the $25, become a UYF member. They don't even go into the regionals for Pop Warner. They don't go into the playoff system for AYF. They just want to come to our cheer. That's how we've grown over the last couple of years. But that's how much better. That's how I think is a sign that we're doing things in the right way with cheer. As the cheer start to split from their football.
Megan, yes. Cheerleading, their open bracket is like globals. You put together a team and you go. Yes, sir. CT does have a team, says Caesar Baldwin. So Caesar, there you have it. There is a team in Connecticut. If somebody wanted to get started, Tony, what would they have to do? That's the question. That's asked.
Call me. It's simple. They call me. I want to start a charter. I talk to you. We do a little bit of vetting. What teams do you have? How are you starting your situation? I talk to the other board of governors and say, guys, this one's coming in. Even the guys from Texas. Hey, we got guys up in this area. Oh, my God, great. We do a little bit of research, and then we answer you right away because we want you to get started.
Is there a deadline to join UYFL to be part of your national part? I know the open bracket. I got a question about open too that someone asked, but is there a deadline to join UYFL as a program, league, etc.?
Well, if you come in as a whole league, okay, you have to be in before any of the rosters lock, because listen, I've had an entire conference leave Pop Warner 5 games into the season. The entire conference left and came, so there are some exceptions, but as long as they follow our rules, and I had their rosters by September 15th or whatever that date was, then they're just like an organization. We don't have a deadline that said we're not taking no new conferences after May 1st. No, because I don't know how you run your league. You know, as long as it's not breaking a rule, I'm going to take you as long as you're following all the same rules of all my existing members.
Caesar Baldwin, can you put in the chat what the team is? I think Billy Porter is asking what the team in Connecticut is.
I think it's the Renegades, Stratford Renegades.
Oh, the Stratford Renegades. Oh, okay.
Stratford Renegades.
All right. I didn't know. So it looked like somebody's asking about it. Well, it'd be nice for you to tell everybody what does UYFL stand for. Somebody actually did ask that question. I haven't said it.
United Youth Football League.
All right, that's good.
It said it when you put the field.
I mean, I know. I'm just asking the questions from the floor, brother. I know what it stands for. But if I don't want to be the one to give it to the people, the man is here. He can answer the questions for himself. I know the answers, but it's good for them to get the questions from him since he's the one doing the answering. Now, the open bracket, is there a deadline to register for that, or do you have up until nationals? Somebody asked that question.
You have up until nationals because you could add to your roster. So
right.
What we try to do is about the deadline we put on the open is usually around November 15th because it fills up. And then we'll take you after that. But if there's 16 teams in the bracket, we put you on a waiting list. We had a couple drop this year. Some slip back in to make it 16. We'll do it, you know. But we try to get that in as early as possible. But no, because there's some guys that don't know till their season's over and they got knocked out of the playoffs. So,
what was the question? How I just forgot the question. I had the damn question on my we were talking about the playoffs, but I can't remember. I'll have to do it. Hey, Tony, listen. If I can remember that question, it was a good question. I can't remember. I want to thank you for coming on. Bro, I had the question, but I'm trying to. So, is there a plan?
Like always, you're doing too much.
Go there. Romeo, who's that for? Me or Tony or Tito? Hey, Tony. Well, anyway, listen, man. I appreciate. Thanks for coming out. Again, you always been good with me. You always show hospitality whenever we popped out to your tournament. Tell Darlos I said what up. That's my guy. That. I still talk to him. You know, me and you always talk, so I'm sure I'll be in touch. I'll definitely listen. I'm a Florida guy. I go to Disney World like 9 times a year, so you know, make sure
I appreciate you guys having me on. This has been a blast because I like both of you guys. This has been fun.
We're gonna keep pushing. We're gonna keep pushing. We're gonna keep chopping wood here, and eventually it's gonna break. Eventually, it's gonna
anything
break.
You need from me. I love coming up to New England, man. I got a lot of Italian friends of mine in Boston. I stop by over there. I'll make my way in. I'm good.
Hey, so you willing to go to New England and meet with any towns that's willing to be interested in joining? That's what
absolutely.
Okay. Hey, listen, thank you very much. I think this was insightful for people, especially the towns that's been telling me and Tito to have you guys on, and we've been meaning to hit you up, but I'm glad we eventually hit you up and we all got it to work. So again, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you. And Jeff from Boston said, hit him up when you come to Boston. Jeff is a good guy. He knows all the good food spots. Hey, Tony, I appreciate you. We'll be in touch.
We appreciate you. I'll be in contact.
Tito, see you later, man. Phil, right, take it easy, brother.
Hey, take it easy, man. Yep. So there you have it, Tito. UYFL. We put the information out there for everybody to have themselves. You guys asked, and the New England Youth Pop has delivered, as we always do. Hey, but no, all jokes aside, I think that was a dope interview. Obviously, I see some people in the comments who felt like they had bad experiences. I'm you know, if I'm being transparent,
a lot of the people, I'm gonna be honest, a lot of the people that did have experiences with that was right at the beginning when they was getting off in 2010, 2011. There's only been one of us in the last 10 years that's been there, and it happened to be me, and there was nothing wrong with our experience, and it was half the price of what it cost us to go to the other ones. So people that ain't been there, could say what they say. I brought you there. We've been there multiple times. You know what's out there, bro. You know.
But no, listen.
It's by far the best show. Like, let's make no mistake about it. It's by far the best show that's out there. Like, the way it's set up, everything is by far the best show.
I haven't been to live games on regular days, but I have been to their facility. And like I said,
we went that year that we was on the Division 2 day.
We were on Constellation
Division 2 day. We were on Division 2.
Constellation day.
Well, that's when we had the free day.
We went on, right. That's the day we had. But I've never been there to watch the games. So, but
I could tell you this much. I went, clearly we were in the open division, which played with the United division, which was, you know, all the better teams. The atmosphere there is you got the old school atmosphere, how Disney used to be or how AYF used to be when it was in Kissimmee. Like, you get all the games are right there, so all the masses of people are in a constricted area. Like, so it's how you call it? It's an atmosphere, a dope one at that. And the way the seating is, there's no bad seat in the house. You know, as we walk through, there's no bad seat in the house.
I just remembered the question. Hey, Tony, if you watching, call back in. I got the question. He probably is.
Well, what's the question?
Here was the question. How do they choose who play who at the national tournament bracket?
Oh, you know how they.
What's that process? That was the question that was asked. Yes. I'm looking at the screen. I was trying to find
put the number. Put the number in the hat. Put the number in the hat. That's how they all do it. That's how they all do it.
I'm gonna text him and ask him. I just text them if I get an answer. Everybody, I ask.
But no,
listen, huh?
I think he answered.
No, he didn't answer. Not yet. He'll answer. I just want to say I thought it was important. Listen, I'd like to get all of the National League owners on to come ask questions, to, you know, interview them, see what they thinking about, talk about their tournament. I think that, listen, I'll tell you this about Hartford. Every year, I'm always looking what's best for my community. I ain't never gonna apologize for it. That is my goal. That's why they elect me. That's why I've been in Hartford for 20 plus years. This is why I've been blessed to be inducted into the Black History Hall of Fame and inducted to Black History Month down at City Hall, because I think genuinely the community knows I want what's best for my community first. I don't have an allegiance to a team, a league, a conference, a national conference, or nothing. I have allegiance to Hartford. My first goal when I got into this was to do right by those kids from across from the projects that asked me to coach them. And so that still remain where I find ground. Now, then after that, it's holistically communities that look like ours that typically have nowhere to go, right? And they need an advocate as well. And so, listen, some people wrote me and was like, yo, why are you? Oh, it's picked out of a hat.
I told you. What did I just say?
He said it's picked. No, sir, he said it's picked out of a hat. The names go in, and you pick out of a hat who you play right there on the spot. So that's how simple it is. If you're gonna win the natty, that's how. I wonder how many games do you have to win the national tournament? But I guess it depends.
No, his week is a little different though. One thing with them, which is you may play more than 3 games in that week, in that span.
Right.
You know, you may play. You may get a day break. You may get a day break. You, again, for the money and the games you play, you're not gonna find a better deal. But we know this. Me and you know this. You know this. There's not really a better deal when you're talking about going to the national tournament. You're not gonna get a better deal than what he offers. You're just not. That's just the reality of it.
Well, I don't. The problem how much at $1,500. That's
bruh. I'm telling you, you'll get the team there. So I'm gonna tell you what it costs to get the team there. It's under 20 grand. It's under 20 grand, dog. You get your teams there with stay for under 20 grand. That's plane tickets, everything, food, everything. You could do it for under 20 grand. That's unheard of.
What is AYF's fee for national tournament? Do you know?
I don't know. I've been out of touch with them for some time. We know what the fee is over here. I don't even want to discuss it, but I'm telling you, for under 20, somewhere between 15 and 20 grand, because you could go, there's ways you could do it cheaper. You could get there between 15 and 20 grand. Everything in that price. And you don't have to stay. Like, he wants you to stay in Hillsborough County, but you heard what he said. You know what I'm saying?
You can say what you
well, you gotta be transparent. You gotta be transparent with him first, though. You gotta tell him, it just makes more sense for you to go here.
Now I'm thinking of the questions that I have football related. Is like, how many referees per
4 every game. Every
per
game
team? It's $25. Oh, AYF. For AYF National is $650 per team that you send. So $650 a team. That's what he said for AYF football. And then M just said it's $14.50 a team. So I don't know. Tim, you and M got to battle that one out. But it's something around the same price, I guess, per team. And it's $900 for cheer per team at AYF. Man, listen, it's options out there for people that's looking. Clearly, you guys all have options. Y'all ask for it. We put the information out there. Obviously some people I saw some people who said that it'll be dope for Connecticut, and those towns can obviously reach out to him. He put the information out there of what they're doing in football and cheerleading. And Water Oak won it this year, and they a CT team. Water Oak won what? Water Oak didn't win a national title, Caesar. And they didn't go to UYFL. They went to D3 AYF. I think that's what you're talking about. But anyway, Tito, I think that's the podcast. I think it was good. It was a great interview. That's what we came to do, is interview him. We'll try to get more people on the interview to provide additional information and see what's up. You know what I'm saying? And see what y'all think. I think it was a dope interview. I hope you guys liked it. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be on Facebook for about 30 days. You can go back and watch it. If you have questions, feel free to ask me, but truthfully, hit him up. Tony's the man. I know him to be an honest, straightforward person from my dealings with him, but I've never been in UYFL. I've been a Pop Warner guy my entirety of my youth football career. But definitely, Tony could definitely be of substance for you, for UYFL. And if you need a way to get in touch with him, hit me up. I'll put you in touch with him. I don't mind. I'm always good.
Stay tuned to the meeting of the minds, part 2. We're gonna revisit.
Hey, just for everybody out there in New England, there's going to be a meeting going down. This meeting is going to be on March. What did I say? March 14th.
14th.
March 14th. I'm getting a big venue. It's going to have food. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if you're part of some staff, if you're part of some board region, we don't want you. This is about the kids. It's not about no national league. It's not about that. It's not going to become what the last meeting became. We're not inviting nobody to come in and talk. This is going to be a meeting of the minds about the kids in New England, about youth football in New England, about honestly doing what's best for the kids. I don't care if you don't like me. I'm going to feed you. I'm going to shake your hand, and we can sit down and all continue to do what's best for the kids. That's what it's going to be about. It's going down March 14th. It's going to start around 2 o'clock. Stay tuned for the venue. I want every youth football program in New England that got an open mind, that wants something for their children and want to do right by their kids, to attend. That's the only thing I'm going to put out there. And I'm going to ask that everybody who walked through that door come in there with a youth first agenda. I tell you guys all the time that the biggest farce is that youth football is about kids. But y'all always saying, well, how can we change it? I think I can provide a presentation that'll allow us, or at least put us on the path to try to get to a place where we're truly doing what's best for our kids and our communities. But it is going to take us giving, loving some stuff and wanting apart from that stuff that we love, possibly. When it's time to do what's best for the kids, we know as adults sometimes we do what's best for us because we become emotional. And I'm definitely going to make sure that the information is out there. Listen, everybody's welcome, but I'm not looking for moles. I'm not looking for people to just come to go report back to something so you can have your people counter.
I mean, we have the truth of the matter is, though, we have, unfortunately, our reach is very long in New England. We know who all the players are. So we're looking for the people that are looking to make change and have good intentions. We know who's not going to be.
We want to do stuff for kids, man. Right. We want to provide. We're not asking nobody to do nothing. We're not saying go leave your league or go write your president or go do this. We're telling you to come to our meeting and let's talk about how we can do something greater for our kids.
I'm gonna just keep
nobody of you, me, him, or her can tell us.
We're looking for administrators. We're looking for administrators, presidents and vice presidents that
we'll take coaches. We'll take open-minded.
Curious about information. People that can move the needle, that are curious about information and curious about making change. That's it. Very simply.
And with that being said, it's going down March 14th, 2 o'clock. It's your boy PH the Prez, Mr. Above 140, and I'm here with my co-host.
It's your boy Coach Correa, the General, Bell City Broncos, 860 Army. Peace to the guys.
New England Youth Football Podcast. We'll talk to you
next week. Next week.
We got a fun-filled show tonight.
I met a boy today.
It's your boy Coach Correa, the General, 860 Army.
She loving my style every time I'm.
You ain't need more money, Tito. You could have just invited 6 or 8 you down to Nationals.
I'm around.
When certain people don't get their way or they feel slighted, they feel like they have a right to call us and voice their opinion. You don't.
We locked
Clear. I've never removed a staff to allow a staff to move up.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Now everybody's a personal trainer. We know who the originals are, but now if you look, you can find them in every town.